Another day, another controversy with conservatives.
Dan Zakshesky, Outkick.com. Coach, your team wasn't on the floor during the national anthem. First part, was that a conscious decision on your part? Second, can you say what the team was doing during that time?
Honestly, I don't even know when the anthem was played. We kind of have a routine where we are on the floor and then they come off at the 12-minute mark.
That's when
I don't know, and we come in and we do our pregame stuff. I'm sorry, that's nothing intentionally done.
So now you have a coach who is alleged to be staunchly aligned with conservatism, telling the man who made this entire story up, Dan Zakshesky of Clay Travis's Outkick, already a tell, that there was zero intent. But as they do, free speech for me and none for thee. Zach here has not retracted for what it's worth.
I am personally really excited to have Jeff Landry running for governor of Louisiana because we need strong conservative fighters.
Jeff Landry, former attorney general and current governor of Louisiana, latched onto it in the latest culture war. He tweeted, "My mother coached women's high school basketball during the height of desegregation. No one has a greater respect for the sport and for Coach Mulkey. However, above respect for that game is a deeper respect for those that serve to protect us and unite us under one flag. It is time that all college boards, including Regent, put a policy in place that student athletes be present for the national anthem or risk their athletic scholarship. This is a matter of respect that all collegiate coaches should instill." Fox News has even picked up on Landry's words as he calls for policy changes, because he clearly has nothing better to do than discuss the anthem. In response to this schmohawk, Matt Dunn would write, "I was the PA announcer for the LSU women's basketball team from 2015 to 2021. The team did not leave for the national anthem. Like many teams, their warm-up drills and timing for pregame with television had them in the locker room. This narrative is completely false. This is just inaccurate journalism on your part. Like clockwork, there were conservative tears on the fact that the UConn women's basketball team nor the USC Trojans were not on the court for the national anthem. Because you see, those tears are only reserved for Louisiana State University and their women's basketball team. Take your guesses as to why, by the way. Jenna, a Tiger fan, wrote, "LMAO, we literally played Army this year. Army. The United States Military Academy at West Point. They were in the locker room during the national anthem. Gonna call them disrespectful? Good point." Jamil Hill would respond to the Outkick writer, "The fake outrage over this is a tell. Here's LSU's best writer explaining that the team is never out on the court for the national anthem." There is a lot here, but before we get into it, if you can, please do become a channel member at youtube.com/TYT Sports to keep us afloat. Any donos help, and please go to tyt.com/join. In addition, if you want to support me, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you for that, by the way. So, there's so many angles here. The first is, it is just that. As Jamil Hill and others pointed out, it is fake outrage. Because if this is something that LSU does, even with a figurehead who has, according to a memoir, mandated a player who was in the closet stay in the closet. She has gone after reporters. She has mandated that an ESPN writer/journalist, Kate Fagan, get fired. She has politicized the mask. She, according to other reports, also mandated that her team go to the Trump White House, even if they were opposed to it. This is a person who, when it came to the essay scandal at Baylor, when head coach Art Briles was the leader of the football program, and she was in an arena, she said, "If any of you hear someone say they're not going to send their kids to Baylor, you punch them in the face." Her words. So she has had conservative leanings, and it has been quite evident. And to see her caught off guard because an Outkick writer is trying to have a gotcha moment. He's trying to have his moment. When this is something that not just LSU, but other teams have done, including the United States Army team. Where are the questions there? Where is that energy? These are the people who latch on to patriotism over and over again. They have the American flag in the bio. They support Donald Trump. And they only have that energy towards LSU. Why? Well, I think we learned something from the Ben Bulch article with the LA Times. And I said it before, I give Kim Mulkey my fair share of criticism, and she is deserving of that. But she was deserving of praise the way that she defended her team from that article in the Times. Bulch's article. She called it sexist. Others, like Haley Van Lith, perceived it as racist, which it was. And yet, as we go through this tournament, it does seem fairly interesting that the brunt of the criticism, where it is not only unwarranted, but also tasteless, and a lack of censorship for using some words as they launch attack after attack after attack from the blue checkmark army on Musk's free speech Twitter. No, not X, Twitter. Van Lith said something really good, and I thought it was needed to be reminded of. It's the fact that they are a predominantly black team in a predominantly black sport, and they continue to get pounded through the media, through fans. The criticisms are over the top. And this is yet another, because it is at this point an age-old critique from the conservative right. They are doing it now with LSU, whose leader, aside from the coach, is a proud black woman in Angel Reese. They did it with LeBron James when he showed up to Bronny James's game at the Galen Center at USC. All of this has been fact-checked. And the pieces of the puzzle easily fit for someone like this Outkick writer, because they know how to dog whistle to their audience, which mainly falls, because if you look at Outkick's audience, you'll know this, and what they try to do on their YouTube channel and even in their articles, it falls along racial lines. They continue to get fact-checked over and over. Luca Evans, a journalist, I believe, at the OC Register, had to fact-check another person in real time on Twitter because they said it was disrespectful for LeBron to show up late when the anthem was playing, when really that is the protocol because of his celebrity status. That is what many entities would prefer happen. But I don't see them saying anything about Donald Trump not knowing the words, or at his Super Bowl party at Mar-a-Lago, pointing and laughing, not putting his hand over his heart, gesturing, making a mockery of it. I don't see them going after Trump when he called the dead suckers and losers. I don't see them going after Trump when he had bone spurs. But patriotism, at the end of the day, that's what matters to them.